kids, we are going to, over the next two classes, introduce you to this idea of ethos, pathos, and logos. I may be saying those slightly incorrectly, but here is what these are. These are kind of the fancy terms that you will start using, especially in high school, regarding the parts that make an argument or a persuasive writing something to be believed. So what you're going to do here in the next two classes is this. First, this video is going to give you the basics of what these things are. Then you will be taking two different texts, one in class 1 and one in class 2, that will explore different ways that ethos, pathos, and logos are used. Ultimately, on your final paper, you will also do some analyzing for all three elements, because these three elements are what Aristotle, who is long, long gone, has said basically makes appeal or makes readers believe what it is that you're writing in an argument. Okay, so to give you that introduction, the first thing that you will be doing is taking this chart right here. If I didn't pass them out, they'll be on the front table, just like always, and you're going to glue it in your resource notebook. I glued mine on page 101, so 101. If you already have something there, turn to 102. Wherever you're going to put it is fine, just don't put it at the very front of your journal. So if you have the paper, go ahead and hit pause and glue. If you don't have the paper, go get the hit pause and then go get the paper and glue it somewhere around 100 in your resource notebook. Okay, and then after you come back, we'll get started. Okay, so you should be glued at this point. I'm going to give you a very brief introduction. The first thing that I want for you to do is take a look at these three headings here. Okay, this pathos or pathos is the idea of connecting to your reader with emotion. We've talked about using a narrative text or a narrative example within this piece, and that will likely be your emotion. You can also create emotion with different language, which is what you'll see when we look at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. He very, very pointedly chose specific words in order to make his point. Okay, so this is that emotional appeal. If you take a look down here at the bottom, there's all kinds of different pictures that give examples of what pathos would be. You know, you see the dog commercial where they're all living in the kennels and they're all so sad, or you see, you know, the soldiers helping kids or whatever. And this can be positive or negative emotions. You know, we talk about our current president and our last president, and there's a lot of debate between the quality of work that both of them have done, and people either feel very positively or very negatively, really speaking about each of them. And so being able to use that as an example shows it doesn't just have to be the positive feelings, it can also be those negative feelings. So pathos is all about the feelings. And if you like notes and annotation, you can write that really big feelings. It's feelings. Okay? The second one is logos, and this is your logic, reason, and proof, as you can see right there. This is the research that you do. It's the stuff like the numbers. It's what the studies show. It's the brain science. It's the elements that are harder to argue because they're quote unquote fact, or at least fact according to someone. You know, describing the characteristics. A lot of this can be some informational writing, but of course, in your arguments, you will have a lot of logos, but you'll probably use some of that pathos, those feeling words, that connotative language in order to communicate what it is the way that you want to. So logos, you can see the pictures down there that I've pictured. Hermione is from Harry Potter. There's Einstein there. It says charts and graphs. And so being able to see the types of information, that would be logos, okay? The third one that's on here is ethos, which is that credibility element, the trust. It's why should I, as your reader, listen to you as the writer? So this is the part where this is when you choose your research, your evidence carefully. So if you're talking about something, you're using scientific research studies, you are using experts in the field. You may create ethos and trust by maybe it's something you've been through. And so your narrative might be, hey, I've experienced this. See, you should trust me because I know what I'm talking about. This is also that type of information. If you're doing something that's debatable and you go to debate.org, my 4-year-old can post an opinion in debate.org. So you are going to lose that ethos or trust element from your reader because they have no reason to believe what it is that you're saying. Okay, so this one is all about the trust. And we have on here like Dumbledore, or you see that, you know, Bill Gates is down there. People trust Bill Gates, or soldiers, or firefighters, and Dr. King, all kinds of things. Now, at this moment, here is what I expect you to know. Okay, I expect you to go, I think I heard of those things when we talked about them in class. Okay, and I expect for you to have this chart available to you when you practice finding each of these. Okay, any argument that is a strong argument will involve all of these to some degree. Now, sometimes you may have a lot of pathos, a lot of feelings are happening because people are mad or they're ready to do something. Okay, so you have the feelings already built in. Whereas sometimes you need the logos because you're making some claim that people are going to be like, what? And so you need a lot of facts to back you up. Okay. And sometimes you need more of that ethos, especially depending, you know, maybe on your audience. If you are speaking to a group of teachers about, you know, about, or like gamers about the new video game and why it's the better one, you have to show that you are someone they should trust because they are also experts in the field. And so they need to know why they should trust you as an expert in the research you did. Because I'll tell you that me going to a gaming conference and talking about gaming, no one should trust me in that regard. So that's essentially what I need you to know. Okay, I heard of those things. I know where my chart is. So when I practice these, I can kind of hunt and peck for different pieces of evidence. Okay, so this was your introduction video. Your next step in the process, the first piece that you are going to take a look at is the one about cell phones. You have the cell phone one and you have Dr. King's speech on the other side of that same document. So we're going to take a look at the cell phone one first. And then from there, that'll be class 1. And then in class 2, we'll take a look at Dr. King's speech for the same elements. So if you are in class 1, which most of you would be, you don't yet have the sheet if we didn't pass it out that has the 2 different passages on it, go up to the front table, grab that piece of paper. You may get 3 different colors is what I would use, 1 for ethos, 1 for pathos, 1 for logos. And then that sheet of paper, and then click on that video. We'll kind of read through it together. I'll show you how to go through the process, and we'll take a look at what you do. All right, see you soon.